What's up everyone? Check out this tune. I think some of these melodies sound pretty juicy, and I will go into detail about one of these sounds and tell you how I made it, because it doesn't just sound very sweet, it also is one of my favorite workflows for finding good solo melodies. So when I said that some of the sounds in this part sound very juicy, I'm specifically talking about these two tracks. So this track is basically just an instance of synth 1, simple melody over and over again with little variation. But this track, what is this? What is this? It sounds a little bit like a distorted electronic guitar, but also it doesn't. Shall we find out? Yes. That was the original sound. So what was going on this track? I think we should start with this FX layer here, because when I activate it, it sounds like this. So this is already like most of the sound. The only difference the other effects make is there is a little bit of a phaser to like smoothen the overall output sound. And the other ones, I want to talk about them a little bit later. First of all, let me deactivate the overdrive on both of these layers. So this is almost the dry recording. The only difference is I put autotune on it, and on the other layer I have kilohertz pitch shifter, pitch shifting the signal a little bit up, and then slapping autotune on it as well, in order to just constantly have some sort of interval going on this melody that makes it sound a little bit more fancy. But the real sound is created when driving these two layers into distortion with a plugin that I once made, actually, Overdrive ReNEO. I think when I released this thing, I didn't really make a lot of videos about it, maybe just one. And then I just assumed everyone to be just as thrilled as I am, or was. But I think people just didn't get that this is an incredibly cool plugin. And I think the reason for that is because it says overdrive, and people always think you have to put overdrives on guitars. But I always put this thing on my vocals. You know, it's a tribute to MDA Overdrive, so the same algorithm in the background. So even a lot of years ago, before I made this plugin, I already used this sound on vocals. For me, it is just a deeply ingrained vocal plugin. Let's listen to this. But what is this? Between the actual fragments of the sound that are melodic, there is just noise. It's like and that doesn't sound very nice. So here's what I did. I instantiated a gate, just a standard gate, no attack, no release, a lot of threshold. Let's go. But you can kinda still hear the so I just added another gate. And now it is just super clean. You might be wondering, why didn't I put a gate right into this plugin? If having to instantiate two gates is what you have to do to get this sound anyway. And if you had this thought, then you are absolutely right. I kind of forgot that this would be the thing that I do every time anyway. Maybe I will make an update someday when I have a little bit of motivation to work on this project, because it's like not one of my main projects right now. But yeah, that's something that I have planned. And till then, you just put 2 gates in front of it, and then you can make this sound. But that's not all that I wanted to show you. Let me put this aside. And now you can see why I'm currently using my cheap ass mic again, just like in my autotune video. Because you can actually play your own voice like that. Now I just realized the latency is kinda terrible, but let's level it up. Okay, so it seems like the latency is not very nice. Maybe I can still show you all a little bit like what it is. Just imagine whatever I'm doing now to be really tight, because normally it would. Now obviously this take was kinda whack, but you know that was because of the latency. I wish I could show you how it really feels. I have to tell you to try it yourself to get a better idea, because when this is actually tight, then it's so much fun. And it should be tight if you are using a vocal tuning plugin with a really low latency, and actually that's one of the best things about the original autotune, because it has the lowest latency of all of these. You could also just use Kirui for free, which also has a really low latency, not as low as autotune, but low enough for most cases. And then Overdrive ReNEO, well, if you don't enable HQ, then there is absolutely no latency. What about the gates? Do they have latency? Let's add another one. No, still the same. The gate doesn't have latency. Oh, kilohertz pitch shifter might have when it's in correlate mode. Yeah. If you don't go too hard with this, like not make this layer immediately, then you can use this in real time, which is nice.